This is the English version of this video. Check the comments section for the link to the Filipino version. In this video, we will discuss the documents which you have to show at check-in on your flight to the Philippines. We will clarify again if you still need the One Health Pass registration and explain the details about the vaccination requirements in the Philippines. Who are considered fully vaccinated by the Philippine authorities and who are considered as boosted. How about those who have recently recovered from COVID? Before we proceed, please know that your simple like on this video is a big help to our channel to reach more people. Thank you for your likes and subscription and welcome to the new subscribers. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell to get the latest updates for your travel to the Philippines. Big thanks to our channel sponsors who have been making a lot of our videos possible. Thank you to those who are giving their time to write down their comments. We really appreciate it. Feel free to write down your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments section. There are two important pandemic requirements to remember. There is no quarantine requirement for those who are fully vaccinated. And, if you have at least one booster shot, you are not required to provide any COVID test certificate during check-in. Let's begin with the summary of requirements, but please be sure to watch the video until the end to get the important details and answers to most of the frequently asked questions. For those who are 18 years old and above, who are Filipino national, fully vaccinated, with at least one booster shot, you need to register in the One Health Pass website at www.onehealthpass.com.ph. Be sure to bring your vaccination certificate, your valid Philippine passport. If your Philippine passport is already expired, you can get a travel document from the Philippine Embassy for emergency reasons, like medical emergencies. However, if you are fully vaccinated but you don't have any booster shot, besides the documents we've already listed here, you need to bring along with you a negative COVID test certificate. It can either be a 48-hour RT-PCR test certificate or a 24-hour antigen test certificate. On the other hand, Filipino nationals who are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, or those with vaccination status that cannot be verified, instead of a vaccination certificate, you need to have with you a confirmed hotel booking if you are not an OFW. For those who are 18 years old and above, who are foreign nationals, fully vaccinated, with at least one booster shot, you need to register in the One Health Pass website at www.onehealthpass.com.ph. Be sure to bring your vaccination certificate. Your valid passport must have at least 6 months of validity left. If you are entering from a visa-free country, you do not need a visa. However, if you are from a restricted country, you need to apply for a visa. If you are entering the country and you are eligible to the Balikbayan privilege, you do not need a return ticket. But if you are entering as a regular tourist, you need an outbound ticket. Travel insurance is not required anymore in the Philippines. Meanwhile, if you are fully vaccinated but do not have a booster shot, aside from the things we've listed down already, you need to bring along with you a negative COVID test certificate. It can either be a 48-hour RT-PCR test certificate or a 24-hour antigen test certificate. Now, let's discuss the important rules about vaccination certificates. Here are the accepted vaccination certificates in the Philippines. You can bring any of these documents to prove your vaccination status. The WHO Yellow Card, issued by any country, will be accepted in the Philippines. In case your vaccination was administered in the Philippines, you can also use your VaxCert-PH. If you are vaccinated outside of the Philippines, you can use any of your physical or digital vaccination certificates issued by your country. Some examples are the printed cards, like the US CDC White Card or the vaccination card in Japan. For Europe, the EU Digital COVID Certificate, whether you print it out or in digital form, will be accepted. And many other official digital certificates like these ones used in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Singapore. Simply remember, all official national vaccination certificate of your country will be honored in the Philippines. Please note that the reciprocal arrangement has been scrapped already, some months ago. If you do not know what reciprocal arrangement is, you do not need to worry about it, it does not matter anymore. Let us emphasize that all official national vaccination certificate of your country will be honored in the Philippines. What if for some reason you are unable to show any vaccination certificate? Unfortunately, only official vaccination certificates are accepted proof of your vaccination status. Without it, you cannot be considered fully vaccinated. The vaccine administered must be in the Philippines approved list. First, it must be in the Philippines FDA Emergency Use Authorization. Here are the vaccine brands included in this list. Covovax or Novavax, Pfizer BioNTech or Comirnaty. Moderna Spikevax, Gamaleya Sputnik Light or Sputnik V. Janssen's Johnson & Johnson. Oxford AstraZeneca or Vaxzevria. Beritka Vaccine, Sinopharm, Sinovac, and Coronavac. In addition, the Philippines will also accept any brands listed in the WHO emergency use listing. Here are some of the vaccine brands which will also be accepted. Novavax Nuvaxovid, Covishield, Convidecia. What if the vaccine administered on you is not in that list? Unfortunately, that would mean your vaccination will not be considered. Some examples of vaccine brands used in some countries but are not yet honored in the Philippines as of August 24, 2022 are Medigen, Corbevax, Abdala, Turcovac. If your vaccine brand is not in the list of acceptable vaccination, you will have to quarantine for a minimum of 5 days in a hotel quarantine facility. In addition, you have to show a negative COVID test certificate upon check-in. To be considered fully vaccinated, you must complete your primary series of vaccination. What does it mean? If your vaccine brand is in the one-dose series category, like the Janssen's Johnson & Johnson, you only need one shot and then count 14 full days. On the 15th day, you are considered fully vaccinated. Yes, that is the minimum number of days. If your vaccination was done a month or a year ago, then definitely you are still considered fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, if your vaccine brand is in the two-dose series category, you need to complete 2 shots. And after the second shot, you have to count 14 full days and then be considered fully vaccinated on the 15th day. Why do we need to count days for it to be effective? Let us use our cell phone as an analogy. When we charge our phone, we will have to wait for some time for it to be fully charged. It's similar with the vaccine. Once injected, we need time for the desired immunity level to be achieved. And according to medical experts, ideally it should be 14 days. Now, to help you plan your vaccination and booster properly, for those who are only considering to do it before their flight. For example, your second dose is scheduled on September 12th. And your flight departure to the Philippines is September 22. If we count the days from September 12 to 22, that is only equivalent to 11 days. You will not be considered fully vaccinated on your departure date. You must count 14 full days from the day of the actual second dose, and you must depart on day 15. So in this case, September 25 is the 14th day. You have to depart on September 26th onwards. Again, if your second dose is already a month ago or a year ago, that is valid because that is more than 14 days. Now, what if your vaccinations are of different brands? This is not a problem as long as all the brands administered are in the approved list we've shown earlier. For those who were vaccinated in different countries, you will have multiple vaccination certificates. You are allowed to bring all those documents to prove the vaccination. Any of these vaccination certificates, whichever is the one you've got, bring it. To summarize, to be considered fully vaccinated, you need your vaccination certificate, the vaccine brand administered must be in the approved list, you must complete the series, and wait for a minimum of 14 days from the last dose. Who are then considered boosted? First we will briefly define what is a booster shot. Then later answer this question. After the second dose, can I immediately get the booster? A COVID booster shot is an additional dose or doses of a vaccine given after the protection provided by the original shot has begun to decrease over time. Let's go back to our analogy using cell phones. Once fully vaccinated, we can assume that our protection level is full or very high. After some time, this protection will begin to decrease. And to bring us back to the fully charged level, we have to get the booster dose. That is according to the medical experts. For the one-dose series vaccine like Janssen's Johnson & Johnson, you only need one shot to be considered fully vaccinated. The additional shot of any other brand will be considered as a booster shot. Simply put, you have to remember, just 1 + 1. For the other vaccine brands which are two-dose series, like Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Coronavac, Sinovac, and many more, you need 2 shots to be considered fully vaccinated. Now the third shot and any other succeeding shots are considered booster shots. Are you allowed to fly as soon as you get your booster shot? Well, technically yes, but we are pretty sure your doctor will discourage you from doing so because there might be some side effects like fever. So taking the advice from the doctor to take some rest should not be ignored. 14 days after your second dose, can you get your booster shot already? Let's go back to the cell phone analogy. After 14 days, you are fully charged. It means there is no sense to get the booster dose just right after your second dose. According to experts, it takes 3 to 6 months before you'd need a booster. Anyway, if you are fully vaccinated, you do not need to quarantine in the Philippines. If you do not have a booster yet, you can simply get a COVID test. There are two options, the 48-hour PCR or the 24-hour antigen. The result of the 24-hour antigen can be available in just around 30 minutes to 1 hour. Not many countries are requiring it nowadays, so getting a test result should not be as difficult as a few months ago. How about those who have recently recovered from COVID? Unfortunately, according to IATF Resolution 168, Section A2B, you must complete your primary series of vaccination. They count only the number of shots, not how many times you were infected and recovered. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like this video. We would also appreciate if you would subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Please be sure to leave a message in the comments section and be one of those who we will select for our shout out in the next video. We wish you a pleasant journey to the Philippines. God bless and see you on the next update.